So I'm muting your mics. So yeah. So if you are having any doubt now, you just message me. I will explain according to that. So first of all, we'll start with the programming. So what is meant by programming? So before going to the Python, so first you have to know what is programming. So what is meant by programming means, so a programming is a set of instructions. Programming is a set of instructions. So set of instructions means what? So whatever the instruction we are going to give. So according to that instruction, it is going to work. So take one small example for this programming. So daily in our system, we are using a calculator function. So once if you open the calculator, so in calculator, so what you are going to do? So you are going to do the calculations. So what are the calculations we are going to do? So now I'm giving 20 plus I'm giving 30. So what it is going to show in the output? So it is going to show in the output 50. So here what is the relation between this calculator and this programming now? So what is program? A programming is a set of instructions. So whatever the instructions we are going to give, so based on that instructions it will work. So in calculator, so what is the instruction I have given? So my first instruction is 20, my second instruction is 30. So what I am going to perform? So I am going to add these two numbers, or I can multiply these two numbers, or I can divide these two numbers. So whatever the instructions we are giving in the calculator, so based on that instructions, it is going to work. So in the same way, the program is also same. So what is the program? A program is called a set of instructions. Whatever the instructions we are giving, so according to that instruction, it is going to work. So how we can brief the definition of the programming? So a programming is a set of instructions. Okay. So this is the first definition of the. So in programming, so we are using the multiple types of programming languages. So what are the multiple programming languages we are using means? So first, so the very first basic programming languages we are going to see. So programming languages. So what is the very first basic programming language means? So C is the first programming language. So next C++, next Java, next Python, so next .NET, okay, so next Scala, so Ruby, so PHP. So these are all comes under the different types of the programming languages, so etc. So there are so many programming languages is there, but all the people so who knows the programming languages means, so C, C++, Java, .NET, Scala, Ruby, PHP. So the most commonly used programming languages in the current scenario is, so these programming languages. Okay. So these are the main important programming languages. So people prefer to learn. So rather than this, there are some other programming languages also is there. So but almost all the people will prefer these programming languages. So in this all the programming languages, so the very basic, programming, C programming. So the first introduced the programming language is C. So in which year we are using C programming means, so 1972. So from the year 1972, so we are using so C programming. Okay. So from the year 1972, so we are using the C programming. So who is the author of the C programming means? So Dennis Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie is the author of the C programming. So in which year we are using the C programming? From which year? So from the year 1972. So we are using the C programming language. So from the year 1972 we are using the C programming. So next, from the year 1980, so we are using C++. We are using C++. So this is a second programming language. So extension of the C is C++. So extension of the C is C++. So C introduced in the 1972. Next, C++ is introduced in the 1980. So the extension of the C is a C++. So who introduced the C++ means? So Arthur. So Jerin Stroustrup, Stroustrup. So Jerin Stroustrup. So he is the author of the C++. So from the which year we are using the C++? From the year 1980. So then after C and C++, so what is the next programming language means? So Python. So Python we are using from the year 1991. Using Python. So from the which year we are using the Python? So 1991. So this is not an extension of C++. So it is a separate programming language. But C extension is a C++. But Python is not the extension of C++. So it is totally different. So from the which year we are using the Python? So Python we are using from the year 1991. So who is the author of the Python means? So the author of the Python is Guido. So Van Rossum. So Guido van Rossum. So he is the author of the Python. So the Python is totally different from the C and C++, but 90% of the Python syntaxes are taken from C language. So the Python is a totally different from C, but the syntaxes of the Python are taken from the C programming. Okay, so 90% of the Python syntaxes are taken from the C programming. So just a little bit concepts are the different. Okay, but the syntaxes are taken from the C language only. So 90% of the Python syntaxes are taken from the C programming. So without learning C and C++ also, so directly we can learn the Python. So that much easier is the Python programming. So nowadays, why all the people are choosing the Python programming means, so it is very easy to learn and it is a very less coding. So compared to all other programming languages, so the syntax of the Python and the implementation of the Python is very, very easier. So that's why everybody nowadays they are selecting the Python as their programming languages. So what is the reason behind that one means? So without learning any programming language, so directly we can learn the Python and the syntaxes implementation part is very easy. So that's why nowadays all the people are preferring the Python programming languages. Okay. So if you want to write the running notes, so whatever I am telling, so you just copy down. So next, I will explain you. So what is the difference between the Python and remaining programming languages? So just observe the difference. I'm not telling any concept. So just I'm telling the difference only. So this is one of the compiler we are using for running. So here my selected language is C language. So in the C language, if I run this program, so I am going to print in the hello world. So in output, it was printed as an hello world. So for printing the hello world, so in C programming, So how many lines of the coding we are using? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines of the coding we are using. So now shift from C to Java. So see, in Java, if I run, so it is showing hello world in the output. So how many lines of the coding I am using here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same 6 lines of the coding I am using. So now I am moving to PHP. See, so how many lines of the coding I am using? So this is the first line and this is the second line. So next move to any other programming language. So C#. So here, so I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now come to the Python. See how many lines of the coding we are using. So only within a single line we are going to execute our output. So that is the advantage of using the Python. So compared to remaining all the programming languages, so in Python the coding is very less. So in Java, C, C++, like some PHP there, if you are writing 5 to 6 lines now, in Python we are going to complete within 1 or 2 lines. So that's why nowadays all the people are preferring the Python programming. So why all the people are preferring this Python programming means, so the coding is very less in the Python programming. So that's why the people are choosing the Python. Okay. So I hope up to now everyone is clear. So now we are moving to the next point in the Python. So before moving into the next point of the Python, so first I will give you the syllabus. So everyone try to note the syllabus of the Python. So this is the latest syllabus we are using according to the current scenario. So write down this syllabus. Okay, so what is the first topic of the Python means? So we are going to see the introduction of the Python. So next, so how to install the softwares of Python. First, we are going to see the introduction of the Python. So next, how to install the softwares of the Python. So what are all the softwares we are using, that everything. So we are going to see in the first chapter. So in the second chapter of the Python, we are going to see keywords, data types, variables. Okay, so this is the second chapter. So in the second chapter, we are going to learn what are all the keywords of the Python, data types and variables of the Python. So in the next topic, we are going to see about the control statements. So control statements. So what are all the control statements and what is the advantages of using the control statements? So where we are going to use these control statements. So there are different types of control statements is there. So whenever the chapter will come, so we'll go with that. So next one is looping statements. So looping statements. So next one, data structures. What are all the data structures we are using in the Python? So what are all the data structures we are using means, so one is list, set, tuple, next a dictionary. So these are all the data structures we are using. So next one, functions. So next topic, lambda filters. So next one, modules. So what are all the modules we are going to use in the Python? So after the modules, so we are going to study the OOPS concept. So this OOPS concepts is a very important topic in the Python. Okay. So not only in the Python. So if you go for any other programming language, so this OOPS is only the most important. So after the OOPS, we are going to see so exception handling. So next, after the exception handling, so file concept, so file IO. So we can tell file IO or we can tell as a file integration. So next one, we are going to see the SQL basics. So next one, we are going to see so Python with database. So Python with the database. And next, we are going to see so how to create the GUI applications. So how to create the GUI applications in Python. Okay. So these are all the topics we are going to cover in the Python. So these are all the topics. So we are going to see. So inside this, there are so many topics is there. So just I told only the headings of the topics. Okay. So once if you go to the OOPS concept now, so inside the OOPS only we are having 5 to 6 concepts. Okay. So same like modules, exception handling. Okay. So try to note down this syllabus. So just I will give you 2 minutes time. So make a note this syllabus. Yeah, so I hope everyone is written the syllabus. So next. So next one. So we are moving into the first introduction of the Python. So just now I explained about the introduction of the Python. So what is a Python? It's a one of the programming language. So who introduced the Python? So Guido van Rossum is introduced the Python programming. So in which year he introduced the Python programming? So in the year 1991, he introduced the Python programming. So the 90% of the syntaxes of the Python are taken from the C programming. So now we'll see. So what are all the applications? So what are all the applications we can build with the help of the Python? So what are all the applications we can build with the help of the Python means? So we can print the GUI applications. So we can print the GUI applications. So GUI means so graphical user interface. So GUI means so graphical user interface. So for example, so calculator. So calculator is one of the GUI application. So next one, notepad. So paint. So these are all the examples of the GUI based applications. So this type of GUI applications, so we can build with the help of the Python. So next one, so web applications. So what are the web applications? So the applications which run in internet. So example, so application forms. So if you want to open any website, so for example, so you are opening some Facebook application here or some Gmail application. So whatever you are searching in the Google, so that will comes under the web applications. So that web applications also we can build with the help of the Python. So next one, so we can build scientific and numeric applications. So scientific applications. So scientific applications means, for example, so in radar systems we are using, so satellite communications. So these are all comes under the scientific applications. So next, so data science. So what is meant by data science? So data science means, so just I will give you a very small example to understand this one. So graphs, pie charts. So these are all comes under the data science applications. So just this is an example. So now the current scenario, the COVID is going on. So from the March to September, so the COVID is increasing or decreasing. So 1 month it is increasing. So 1 month it is decreasing. Again next month it is increasing. So next month it is decreasing. How this one we are going to show in a graphs. So that is called the data science applications. So these are all the types of applications we can build with the help of the Python programming. Okay, so for each and everything we are using the Python only. For GUI applications we are using Python. For the web applications we are using the Python. For scientific applications we are using the Python. For data science also we are using the Python. But it's not compulsory to learn all the types of applications. So according to our wish, if you are interested in GUI applications now, so we can work with GUI applications. If you are interested in web applications now, we can work with the web applications. If you are interested in scientific now, we can go with the scientific applications. If you are interested in data science now, we can go with the data science. So that is your wish. So for all the things, the common thing is Python only. But after learning the total Python, so which one is interested for you? You can choose that interested domain and we are going to learn. So next, now you are all learning, so just Python only. So just you are all learning Python programming. So after learning this Python programming, so if you people are interested to learn any other further concept of the Python means, So you can go with the machine learning. So you can go with the R programming. So you can go with the Django. Or you can learn so Flask. Okay, or you can learn AI, or you can learn deep learning. So these are all we can learn after learning the Python programming. So for all these things also, so the Python is only the basic. So once after learning this basic Python, so after learning this total basic Python, so according to your interest, you can learn. Okay. So either you can learn machine learning, or you can learn R programming, you can learn Django, you can learn Flask, AI, deep learning, data science. So that is your wish. But before learning these things, if you learn Python now, so it is very easy for you. Okay. But for the students and for the BE students, so first of all, you have to be more concentrated on your this Python. Okay. So whenever you are going with your placements now, so maximum they will not ask about this machine learning, data science. They will not ask about this one. So they will ask only the basic Python only. So how strong you are in the basic Python. So based on that one only, they will select through the campus placements. So almost all 50 to 60% of the companies will hire with the help of the basic Python. So only 50 to 60%. But if you learn this machine learning data science, so it is an added advantage for you. Okay. So in case for the final round, 5 people are selected only for the Python. But in that 5 people, any one of the people is having any other additional technology like machine learning or programming, so that is the added advantage for you. Okay. So but up to the entry level for the students, okay, so almost all you're all the student background only. So first you perfectly learn about this Python. Okay. So after learning this Python perfectly, so then you can move according to your interest. So you can move to either machine learning, or you can choose R programming, Django. Okay. But the current trending one is so machine learning. Okay. So machine learning. So is a current trending. So machine learning, data science. So this is a current trending. So many people are choosing the machine learning with data science. So current the market scenario is going on the so machine learning and data science. So after learning this basic Python, so you may choose and you can learn this machine learning and data science. Okay. So this is a just intro of the Python. So based on the Python, so which type of applications we can develop. So after learning the Python, so what are all the important things you are going to learn? So this is about the scenario for that. So if you are having any doubts in this now, so you can contact me also, no problem. So next we'll move into so how to install the Python. So installation of Python. So before going to the installation of the Python, so first go to the command prompt. So go to the search bar and type command prompt. So this is called the command prompt. So in the command prompt, so you just type Python. So after typing the Python, so you just give enter. So now it is showing. So Python 3.8.5. So this is the Python version I am using in my system. So what is the current version of the Python I am using in my system is, so 3.8.5 version I am using. So this is my current version of the Python. So you also, you can check it. So directly go to the command prompt and just type the Python. So if you install the Python now, it will display. If you are not installed the Python, so it will show the error. So in my system already I installed my Python. So that's why it is showing the version of the Python. So now I will show you so how to install. So if you want to install the Python, so everyone directly go to the Python. Everyone directly go to the Python. So it will show welcome to python.org. So it will show welcome to python.org. So go inside this. So after moving inside, so this is the official website of the Python. So here we no need to pay any amount for this. So Python is an open source software and freely we can download the Python software. So directly you can go to the downloads and you can download this Python software. And before downloading, so is there anybody is using the Windows 7 operating system? So anybody is using the Windows 7 or everyone is using the Windows 10? So everyone is using Windows 10, right?
Yes.
So if everyone is using the Windows 10 now, so directly you can go to the downloads and you can download this Python software. So you just click on this one, so it will download it. So if you want this practical explanation now, can anyone share your screen now? I will tell you the practical explanation of the Python. So can anyone share your screen now? I will explain you how to download the Python practically. Yeah, so if you want to share your screen, so you just go to the right side. So here share screen one option will be available. So you just click on that one and you just give start sharing. So anyone. So do quickly. Yeah. So now you just go to the, so everyone is able to see the screen, shared screen. Okay. So now go to the Google directly. Yeah, you just type the Python. So Python. So now it will show the welcome to python.org. So go inside that one. So I will give you time if anybody is downloading now. So download, I will give you some time. Okay. So in downloads, if everyone is using the Windows 10 now, you can directly download the Python. So click on that one. Yeah, you just give save. So I will give you some time. So you just download the Python first. Yeah. So after downloading, so don't give install. So before installing the Python, so in the down it will show add Python 3.8 path. So at the end it will show. So before downloading, so you just click on that path and you just give install. So I hope everyone is doing. So if anybody is still facing the issues now, so after this completion, you just share your screen, I will tell you. Yeah, so you just close that one. So now the Python is installed in your system. So if you want to check whether the Python is installed or not means, so you just go to the command prompt in your system. So go to the search and type the command prompt. So now inside the command prompt, you just type Python. So now the Python is installed in your system. So now I hope that everyone is clear. So how to install the Python. So still if you are having any issues now, you can share your screen. Okay, so now, so moving to the next one. So now we downloaded your Python version. So what is the features of the Python or what are the advantages of the Python means? So Python is a platform independent language. So Python is a platform independent language. So what is meant by platform independent means? So once write, so execute anywhere. So once write and execute anywhere means, so a simple example I will tell you. So now we are using this Windows operating system. So now we are using the Windows operating system. So what is meant by platform independent means, so it will run in any type of operating system. So what is meant by platform independent means, so once write and execute anywhere means, so Python will supports to, so I will give you the exact definition. So Python will support to, so any type of operating system. Python will supports to any type of operating system. So you can use a Python in, so Windows. You can use a Python in Mac. So you can use a Python in Linux. So you can use in Ubuntu. So we can use a Python in any type of operating system. So that's why it is called a platform independent language. So if you want to check practically, you just go to the downloads. So here it will be available. So if you want to download for the Windows, you can download for the Windows. If you want to download for the Mac, you can download for the Mac. So other platforms. So other platform is, so like Python for AIX, IBMI, iOS, iPads, so OS 390. So Solaris, VMS, HP, okay, Linux. So it will supports to any type of operating system. So there are so many operating systems is there. For all the types of operating systems, so the Python will supports. So if it will supports to all the types of operating systems, so it is called the platform independent language. So once if any programming is an platform independent means, so it will supports to all the types of programming languages. So if any programming language will supports to all the types of operating systems, so that is called the platform independent language. So platform independent means what? So once write and execute anywhere, and it will supports to all the types of operating systems. So now I hope everyone is clear what is meant by platform independent. So then we'll see the versions of the Python. So what is the current version we are using? So Python 3.8.5. Okay. So this is the latest version. But here they have given one note. So note that Python 3.5 cannot be used in the Windows XP or earlier. In case if any people are using either Windows XP operating system, so in that it will not support the Python 3.5 after. So before the 3.5 versions, so you can download it. So how we can download it means, so you just go to the view full list of downloads. So here is the total updates and the downloads. So according to the operating system, according to our specifications, we can download it. So in case if anyone is using the Windows 7 operating system, so you better to download Python 2.7 version. Okay. So this 2.7 version of the Python will support to the Windows 7 operating system. Windows 10 means anyone. Latest version it will support, 2.7 it will support. So any type it will support. Why? Because it is the latest. But if you are using any one, either Windows 7 operating system, so you just download the 2.7 version. So this 2.7 version will support to Windows 7 operating system. So okay, so this is the way to install the Python. So next, if you go about this Python means, so here itself they will provide you. So what are all the applications we can build? So we can build the web and internet applications. So data access, desktop GUI, scientific and numeric, education, so network programming, software and gaming development. So for all these things, we are going to learn the Python programming. So downloads. So documentation, no need to require. So I will give you the notes. Okay. So next one. Now we'll see how to open the Python in our system. So with the help of the command prompt, so we checked that Python is available in our system or not. So then how we can access the Python means, so in search bar we can type it IDLE. So now IDLE. So after downloading this Python, so you just type it IDLE. So you just click on this IDLE. So this is called the IDLE of the Python. So once if you downloaded that Python file now, so it will display like this. So once after downloading, after checking, so directly go to the search bar. So one more time I am telling. So go to the search bar and type IDLE. So here we can start the coding of our Python. Okay. So here itself it will show you. So Python 3.8.5. Okay. So these are all the which version we are using, which operating system we are using, that everything. So it will display it. Okay. So now we'll start the write the Python coding. So how to start write the Python coding means, so directly we can write it here. So I can write the 10. So I can write 10 plus 20. So I can write 10 plus 20 plus 30. So 10 into 20. So anything. So whatever the coding you want to write it here. So that coding, so directly we can write it here. So once if you close this one now, so automatically it will go. Okay. So now again if you want to open, so again you have to type it here. So next, what is the another important thing before starts the coding? So we have to understand that how to write the Python program. So before writing the Python program, okay. So before writing the Python program, so first of all, so you may aware, so what is meant by keywords, what is meant by data types, and what is meant by variable. So if you know what is a keyword, what is a data type, and what is a variable. So these three, if you learn perfectly now, so we can start the Python coding. Okay. So first of all, we'll see what is data type and what is variable. So then we'll move into the keywords. So first we'll see what is variables and data types. So before moving to the variables and data types, so here observe one small example. So now in program, as a programmer, so I have to use numbers. So I have to use characters. Okay. So if I want to write my program, so definitely I require that numbers and characters. So before starting the programming, so first of all observe what is the numbers and characters. So 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 40, comma 50. So next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are all called numbers. So everyone will know these are all called the numbers. So now I am writing Python, Psi, okay, SLA, okay. So these are all, so next to Chennai. So these are all comes under the characters. So these are all called the numbers. So these are all called the characters. So now we know that Python is one of the character, 10 is one of the number. So we can understand. So what is a number and what is a character? We can understand easily. But this 10 is a number. So Python is a character. So how the Python will understand means with the help of the data types. So we know that 10 is a number. We know that Python is a character. But how the system will understand, how the Python program will understand which one is character and which one is number means, so with the help of the data types it will understand. So in any programming language, so if you want to represent the numbers, we are using the which data type means, so we are using the integer data type. So the integer data type we are using for representing the numbers. So next, for representing the characters, so we are using the string data type. So for representing the characters, we are using the which data type? So string data type. So we are using integer data type and we are using the string data type. So next, one more thing we forget it. What is that one? So point values. So like 10.3, so 1.333. So 3.555 like this. So if you want to represent any point values, so point values means nothing but decimal values. So for decimal values, so we have to represent float data type. So we have to represent the which data type? So float data type. So for representing the numbers, we are using the integer data types. Okay. So then for representing the characters, we are using the string data type. So next, for representing the decimal values, we are using the float data type. Okay. So if you want to note down, so you just note down this running notes. Okay. So for representing the numbers, we are using the integer data type. For representing the characters, we are using the string data type. So next, for representing the decimal values, we are using the float data type. Okay. So now we'll see this one practically. So now 10. So here what is a 10? So 10 is an integer. So integer values directly we can execute it. But in the same way, if you give Python, so now it will show the error. Why? Because there is a different syntax for representing the integer values or string values. So what is the difference means? See, first I will write you. So integer values. So directly we can represent. So integer values directly we can represent. But so whenever in Python we are representing string values. So whenever in Python we are representing the string values, so we have to use single quotes. So the single quotes are double quotes. So whenever you are representing a string values in a Python, so we have to represent either single quotes or double quotes. So how to represent this one, I will show you. So now I am writing the Python. I am using single quotes Python. So in two double quotes also I can represent Python. So either we can represent in single quotes or we can represent in double quotes. So both executions are correct only. So what is the difference of using the single quotes and double quotes means? So before the third version of the Python, we are using only the single quotes. So from the third version, we are using the both single quotes as well as double quotes. So both is correct, but any one we have to use. So that is your choice. You can represent in either single quotes or you can represent in double quotes. Okay. So either you can represent in single quotes or you can represent in double quotes. So this is about the data types. So data types means, so what is the data I am representing? That is either integer, string. So how the Python will understand? So with the help of the data types. So next one we are moving to the variables. So variables. So what is meant by variable? So what is meant by variable means, so a variable is a name given to the memory allocation. So what is meant by variable? So a variable is a name given to the memory allocation. So just what is the example of the variable? So see here, directly I have given the 10. So if I want to store my data type, so if I want to store my 10 here, so I can use the variable. So A equals to 10. So now what it is doing? So A value is storing the which value? So 10 value. So whenever I am using the variable, so if I give the EA, so it is going to print in the output, so 10. So 10 is going to store inside the EA. So directly here I can print EA. So what is the value stored inside the EA? So 10 is the value stored inside the EA. So in the same way I am giving B equals to Python. So now I am giving so B. So now it is going to print the Python. So B, it is storing the Python value. So whenever if I call the B, so it is going to print the Python value. So this is the representation of the variable. So whenever you are representing the variable, so we have to follow some rules. Okay. So what is the rules we have to follow? So always, so variable B starts with a character. So always the variable should be starts with a character. So always the variable should be starts with a character. So if I give in the same way 1 equals to 10, so it will display immediately error. So always the variable should be starts with a character. So now I can give A1 equals to 10. It will accept. But the starting letter should be always which one? Character only. So always the starting value of the variable should be character. So next, so length of the variable should not exceed 32 characters. So the length of the variable should not exceed 32 characters. So 32 characters means what? So now I am representing it like this. So the length should not exceed 32 characters. Okay. But that is a not at all a problem for us. So just we are taking the maximum length of our variable is 5 to 10 characters only. Okay. This error we cannot. So maximum the length issue we are not getting. So just a minute. So next one. So no special symbols are allowed. No special symbols are allowed. So what are the special symbols? So dollar, hash, at. Okay. These are all the special symbols. These are all not allowed. So no special symbols are allowed. So these special symbols are not allowed. So so no special symbols are allowed. So we can write it except underscore. So no special symbols are allowed except underscore. We can use like this. So A underscore 1 equals to 10. So this one it is accessible. But if you give A at 1 means it will display the error. Okay. So except underscore, only underscore is allowed. So remaining all special characters are not allowed. Okay. So these are all the rules and regulations of declaring the variables. Okay. So I hope everyone is clear with the data types and variables. So if you want to start any programming, so definitely we have to use the variables and data types. So with the help of the data types and variables only, we can start our programming. Okay. So next here we have to learn another one thing called print function. So print function. So what is the use of the print function means? So if we want to print anything, output, so we have to use the print function. So if you want to print anything in the output, so we have to use the print function. So how to use that print function means, so just close this everything. So just type ideally. So now here I am giving A equals to Sai. So now I am giving print. So A. So now what is the use of the print function? So whatever inside the A, it is going to print. So whatever inside the A, Sai is inside the E. So now I am giving A equals to 10. So print A. So now what is inside the A? So 10 is inside the A. So that 10 it is going to print. So now here I have to check this A is an which data type. So this Sai is an which data type. So for that, so we can use so now A equals to, I'm giving Sai and print, I'm giving type of A. So now A is in which type? So str. So here the str will represent to the string data type. So now I am giving a equals to, so 10. So print, so type of a. So now here a is in which type? Integer. So first a is in string type. Why? I represented the size. So next I represented the number. So whenever I am using the number, so it will come to the int type. So in the same way I am giving 10.33. So print, so type of a. So now this is a float type. Why? Here I represented in a decimal format. So according to the format, so it is going to print the data types of our program. Okay. So everyone take down this one in your notes. Keep the heading. So how to find the data types and note down this one. So okay. So I hope everyone is written this one. Yeah, okay. So up to now, so this is okay for the today's session. So next session we will continue on the next Saturday. So before that, so I will give you just a 5 to 10 minutes time. So if you are having any doubts in today's session, so you can just clarify with. So in today's session, if you are having any doubts now, so just I will give you the 5 minutes time. So you just discuss. So everyone is clear with the today's topic. So just I will give you the 5 minutes time. So you just revise all the topics what we did today. If you are having any doubts, you can just ask me. Yeah, have you rectified? Hello, have you revised everyone? Any doubts? So any doubts? So no doubts.
No doubt, sir.
No, sir. No doubt, sir.
What? Hello? Okay. Yeah, okay. So then we'll see by the next week, okay? So next week, same timing. So 11 o'clock we'll see, okay? Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.